fantastic for automotive detailing. This machine offers an 11-gallon hot water storage tank. Once the machine's plugged in, just using this one corded 120 volt, which is different than the other machines on the market. Some machines will use 2 cords, one to heat the tank, one to run the vacuums and the pump. The disadvantage to that is you'd have to have 2 outlets, 110 volt, 20 amp rated, in different places on the shop, and not every shop set up that way. So the advantage to this is it's one cord. Once plugged in and the tank heater is on, it will heat this tank. You cannot run any other function. You cannot run the vac motors. You cannot run the pump. For us, what we do is we get here 5, 6 in the morning, plug this machine in, we fill it up with hot water out of our hot water heater, just to help the process of getting it hot faster. And then we leave it sit. Once, by the time everybody's here, ready to go, we can have 11 gallons of hot water ready. Now this is a huge benefit if you're gonna extract, like this Tahoe behind me. If this had black cloth seats or tan cloth seats and carpets and they all needed to be extracted, granted, you're not gonna use, you shouldn't use all 11 gallons on a vehicle this size, but say you had 2, 3 cars that day that needed to be extracted. You have 11 gallons of hot water here. The recovery tank is also 11-gallon recovery. Now with the dual vacs, you're getting the suction you need, big water lift. We set this up with a extractor with a window on it so you can see what you're extracting. You can see the dirt coming up. You can see that it's actually clean as you make passes. The pump is 110 PSI hot water pump. So what I like about this in comparison to like our last machine was a Mighty. The Mighty just holds the water in the tank, then it goes from the tank to the pump to the heater. So the heater might only hold a quart of water. So that all you're getting is a quart of water and it can't heat as fast as you're flowing. This, you got 11 gallons of hot water. Now if I was a mobile detailer, I wouldn't want this. It's too big of a machine to lug around. But if you got a fixed operation, you're a dealership, you're a large detail shop, this is an awesome machine. It's a little bit big, but it does the job tremendously well. I highly suggest the DV12. Now let's talk a little bit about the negatives of the DV12. The DV12 has a thermal coupler in the bottom of the tank. It has a heat switch in the bottom of the tank. That is to shut off the heater in case, the thermal coupler is to shut off the heater in case you're drawing too many amperage because there's no water in here and it's just heating the heater and nothing else. Good safety feature. But what will happen is this heater draws so much amperage, it'll start to melt the wires inside the machine, and then the heater won't work. You won't have the orange light come on as you're heating the tank. You'll open up your machine and it'll be a melted wire. Not the end of the world. Go to Home Depot, Menards, wherever you are locally, you get a spool of wire and you make your own wire. Not a big deal. Got to be a little bit mechanically inclined to do it. The other disadvantage is that because it is such a high amperage machine, these switches fail. There are 3 styles of switches on this machine. So with that being said, you're going to want to stock spare switches if you don't have an extra machine and you need this thing. You can't afford the downtime. I would stock extra switches. They're not expensive. They're about 15 bucks. You can get them online. The other thing that I would maybe think about stocking is the heater. The heater element down in here is real easy to change. Just open up the machine, 2 bolts, unplug 2 wires, put it back together, it's good to go. We do try to save the longevity of the pump, the tank, and all of the fittings and everything by running vinegar through the machine once a month. We drain out all the water, do like half a gallon of vinegar in your recovery tank, or I'm sorry, in your hot water tank, and then about a half gallon of water. Heat that up, and then run that vinegar through until you can smell it coming out your head here, and then leave that for the night. That will help descale the machine. That will help take care of the extractor. Next morning, come in, suck out your vinegar out of your machine, run fresh water through your line, and you're good to go. We've changed pumps on this machine. They're about 150 bucks. They're not bad to do. Overall, I highly suggest this machine if you're a high volume shop. Here at Wisconsin Chemical Wholesale, we can get these machines for you, brand new. They run north of, they're about $200 to $2,500. But it beats having a lesser machine that can't perform to what you or your dealership or your detail shop needs. You can find these used on Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist sometimes. Carpet cleaners are getting rid of them. go look at them. You can usually get them for about $1,000 or under. If you're getting them anything underneath $1,000 and they're in good shape, you're probably getting a good deal. I've seen the tanks, if guys leave water in them, the tanks will actually start to like rust out. It's a stainless tank, but I've seen them rust out and drip on components on the inside. The water will drip on components and wreck the machine. So just look over the machine, open up the machine. It's not very hard to open it up, check it out, make sure it's not rusty, make sure it's not, you know, corroded. Check the recovery tank, make sure that actually clean the recovery tank. The last thing you want is a stinky, nasty recovery tank. Other than that, fantastic machine. I would highly suggest getting one if you're in the needs of a carpet extractor. If you want to check out our other products or other videos, check out our YouTube channel, check out our eBay store, and check out our website, wisconsinchemical.com. We'll see you on the next video.